Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone!
Board meeting!
Welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Lemmy Champ or Lucky Track Dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussion,
Tips, tricks,
As well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
whether it's on the spot.
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough in
Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Mental, and we are Everyone Racers. Now, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Sonoma race, but right now, this is the worst Cadillac engine ever episode. It is episode 368, and the L61 368 V8 replaced the standard 425 cubic inch in 1980. The problem came in 1981 when Cadillac standardized the L62 V8-6-4 across the model line, calling it a technological masterpiece. It introduced revolutionary cylinder deactivation system called modulated displacement. They deactivated 2 or 4 cylinders via solenoids mounted to the rocker arm studs, allowing the rockers to float and leaving the valves closed. Anyone who has dealt with early 80s GM electronics knows exactly what happened. The ECM could not keep up with the processing needed to operate this complex system. In 4-cylinder mode, the engine didn't make enough back pressure for the vacuum-controlled EGR valve, and the result was cylinder detonation or pinging. If you've only dealt with new modern cars, you haven't dealt with that yet. And Cadillac issued updated chips for all of the engine control modules. Most dealers just disabled the function, leaving it with a permanent 8-cylinder operation. The 368 was dropped from most Cadillac passenger cars after the 1981 model year.
That was a rough time for Cadillac engines too. They were
It
also
really
had the
was.
Oldsmobile diesel that
Oof.
was so tragic. Was like, yeah.
I didn't have the
Oh, well.
Cadillac version, but I had the Oldsmobile version. I had a 1980 Delta 88 diesel. And yes,
I'm sorry.
yes, I deserve
What-
all of the
how did-
sympathies.
Yeah, you sure
Yeah,
do.
It truly was tragic.
My
Could
mom
not keep a
had
battery in it. Yeah.
She had a maroon Delta 88 with a white, like crazy white roof, and it was just. I'd never seen another one like it. I was like, that thing looks like a Ruby driving down the road. I loved that car. It was awesome.
It was
Terrible
comfortable.
car.
I had
Yeah.
the velour, crushed velour button pillow interior. Yeah. Which was good because
Terrible
I
cars.
needed to be comfortable when it
Terrible.
was broken down on the side of the road,
Good.
as it often was.
Well, great. So we're not working on our early 80s General Motors crap right now. What are we working on? Mental.
So, as mentioned, the to be announced rally car for the upcoming Las Vegas rally, got it, drove it around a little bit, did some shakedown, made a very, very long list of new parts and old parts, and bought a new set of tires. They're going to come in next week. Things that are going on there. Made a junkyard run to get some bits for it. Been starting Formula V prep. I will talk about that in listener feedback, but I've got my Formula Vs here at the house. It has happened to me finally. My Miata is subject to a recall. My airbag may not deploy. Womp womp. So I got that notification and packing for Sonoma.
Cool. So now, driving the rally car, how tragic is it? Like on a scale. I'm trying. What's a good scale? I don't know.
Well, you knowing the origin story, it's actually not that tragic. The engine in this one is known for its durability and reliability, so it's a fairly solid piece. The insides of it are pretty tragic, and a lot of that got power washed and removed, and most of it's coming out getting custom done anyway. The functions, some of the interior buttons do not do what they're supposed to do. That's going to have to get upgraded. But
What
it
about the
runs.
stereo? What about the stereo? More importantly,
I can't answer that question without giving it away. It's got good bones. The stereos,
Okay.
they're going to know it's a sorry for party rally car before it gets there. They'll have that going on there. But it goes, turns, and stops as it should. Actually, it goes kind of quick. It's very peppy. It's going to get tuned up, new, ignition system, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, right now she'll sneak up and go.
Excellent.
We put a hot tub in it, then it's not going to go very fast.
Watch out for sloshing.
Hard to keep anything in there.
Yeah. All right. That's
right.
great.
We'll let somebody else drive when the hot
Who's
tub's in
next?
it. That way it won't splash like I will when I drive.
Good.
Good. Go ahead.
Who's
what
up
are you working
next?
on?
Chris.
You,
Okay.
Chris, because you posted some
I've been-
almost tragic things on our Slack channel.
I did. I've been working on car stuff. So everyone probably remembers back in the summertime in July, we needed a new motor for the Mazda because the other one had a rapid unplanned disassembly. So I drove out to Pittsburgh and I bought two engines from 2018 Ford Escapes that supposedly had 7 miles on them. They looked great, put them in the car, got them back here. I took one, I just picked randomly one. I didn't even look, no rhyme or reason. I just said, we'll use this one. We put that in the car. It runs beautifully. It is gorgeous and spotless inside, and that was all wonderful. So I had this other engine though, and thinking, well, I want to do the prep needed to put it to have it as a good backup motor, which involves changing timing covers and valve covers and oil pan and all kinds of stuff like that. So I got that motor out and pulled the valve cover to get ready to do that, and it has seen better days. We'll put it that way. This motor appears to have been left out in the rain at some point. That filled up the well between the cams and the valve cover, which seeped into the cylinder head and pooled in the cylinder head, and the cams were a rusty mess. So yeah, those had to come out. It was a lot of work to get the valve buckets out. They were stuck. The head looks like it'll clean up fine, and this motor definitely is a 7-mile engine. It's the rest of the bottom end looks perfect, spotless, brand new, but the head, it's going to need a little work. But fortunately, I have the head from the old motor still, so we're going to freshen one of them up and get that ready to go. But even just a few minutes ago, I was out getting the last of the valve buckets that was stuck that I had sitting with PB Blaster in it for 48 hours trying to get it right, but that's out now, so it's good. Race cars,
Yay.
So,
The
Waiting
picture
for-
of that cam was so crusty. I mean, it looked like you
Oh, yeah.
rolled it in like cinnamon sugar. It was like a churro cam.
Yeah, we were all
Yeah.
a little worried that you'd gotten like one boat anchor and one good motor.
Yeah.
I mean, for how
yeah,
much we
it'll be all
spent
right when I
for it,
freshen
too.
up. Yeah, well, the from is out of warranty because it's a 90-day warranty and we're beyond that. But freshening up a head and putting a new head gasket in won't be all that expensive, and we'll be in good shape then. So,
Great.
yep. Chrissy, what have you been up to? I know what
I'm
you've been
not
up to, but
working on-
you can tell
I
everyone else
right?
what you're up to.
I'm not working on cars. We did some Christmas prep around here, working on some homemade gifts. And
It's not even
Well,
Thanksgiving yet.
so I really wanted to work ahead. We make a whole bunch of stuff, and I just wanted to get it out of the way and get it done. So it's not like I don't have
The house isn't
decorations out.
decorated or anything like
No,
that.
it's not
We just are
decorated. It's not
making
even
these
decorated
things.
with Thanksgiving stuff. I have jack-o'-lanterns turned around on my mantle, so there's still pumpkins.
Okay,
So,
there we go.
Uh,
Acceptable.
no, I mean,
All right, nice.
I don't have a tree up. We're just working on Christmas presents, like making presents is what we're doing. So, yeah, saw a friend this weekend, did some driving tonight with my cohort who's learning to drive. We made it onto a highway, and yeah, that's about it. Tim,
Nice.
prepping for fun things. What do you do?
I am prepping for fun things. Well, I got to do, first of all, on my way back from vacation, we got to do our first like full pit stop in an airplane. We have to land in San Juan for a tech stop. They need to add fuel on our way to Boston. And when we landed, they said, "Hey, we noticed that there's a flat spot on one of these tires. So we're going to need to fuel up the plane and do a quick tire swap. We're going to swap out one of the pilots." And I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna make my connection. And they turned that whole thing around in 40 minutes. I was like, wow, good on you, you guys. So we made our connection, got home, um, and now it's full prep for Sonoma. Got some stencils
Wait,
that we're working on today.
That's a
Go
fun
ahead.
you
chat
flew
to have
from
open at work when somebody pops in behind me.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I bet.
So
They're
you, wait,
they're
you flew
used to it by
from
now.
Caribbean to Boston to California. That's
Yes, there's
circuit.
there's
Okay.
no easy way to get to St. Thomas from the West Coast. Like you might as well just
Okay.
fly to Europe. It's really a pain.
You can't even go to like Atlanta or somewhere huge like
You
Miami.
you
Okay.
can,
Miami.
but it's a two stopper. So we flew JetBlue and we flew direct. We had good seats and it was fine. So
Okay,
All right.
you made
Great.
it.
took a
Yep.
nap, watched some movies, ate some
Sounds
food.
great. Sounds wonderful.
So yeah, so now we're getting ready for Sonoma. We've been watching the dismal weather report, and it appears that it is going to, as they said on the Weather Channel, have a good soaking this weekend. So Sonoma is a
Mm.
really tricky track. Lots of concrete, lots of places to get yourself in trouble, like big trouble, and we're just gonna hose that thing down and dump some mud all over the place, and I'm sure it's gonna be totally fine. The
Lots
penalty
of
box
yep.
is gonna
Lots
be
of
empty
blowed
all
up
weekend.
engines and transmissions with the fluid all just lurking in the
Oh,
corners.
that's my favorite.
Mhm.
I took
There's some
videos of it
interesting
from
rivers
HBR. Yeah.
Mm,
when the wine
Oh,
really flows at Sonoma.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
shiny.
yep. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna talk a little bit about that too. So yeah, so that's good. We're getting my stuff ready. I've got a hookup for some golf carts. I'm going to pick up some golf carts and bring those for the staff to use driving around the gigantic paddock at Sonoma. Um, and then another update is I got some pictures from my contractor of the
Ooh.
You should be able to
garage.
share a
No
screen. You should be able to share a
way.
screen. Put it up.
I'll have to email it to myself. I will
Oh,
I will post it on the socials. I'm waiting for the next one, but it is the first floor is put together. This was as of Thursday. The first floor was together. All the sheathing was up. They were putting the flooring on the second floor, having them deliver sheetrock. I'm going to do all the interior of it, but I'm having them deliver sheetrock and put it up on the second floor with the lift while they have it there, so I don't have to carry 2,500 pounds of sheetrock up the stairs.
Sounds
Good call.
awesome.
Uh,
Plan
that's
ahead.
so miserable. God, I hate
yeah,
helping sheetrock.
yeah. So we'll be doing it downstairs. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do the downstairs. I'd love for listener feedback in the comments, but my thought is I'm going to do metal panels on the shop floor 4 feet up, and then from there I will put sheetrock the rest of the way up. But behind the sheetrock, I am going to put in 2x12 bracing all the way around on the 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot section, so I can just fire stuff in, and I know that there's blocking there behind it. But I like the metal on the bottom because it's
Like
easy to clean
corrugated
up.
or smooth?
I'll probably do the corrugated stuff. There's a bunch of that you can buy, and it's like $30 a panel as opposed to 60 for sheetrock.
I did that in
And
our garage in Colorado, and I was going to say corrugated because the flat stuff will get scratched and dented, but the corrugated, makes it look like a cool bar.
yeah,
You
it's easy to
probably still
clean.
need the sheetrock behind it though to seal the envelope. If this is a temperature controlled space, I'm assuming, so you
Yeah,
can work in the wintertime in Maine.
I'm going to closed cell spray foam the entire building, so
That'll do
that
it.
will do it. So it's fire all that in. So the plan is to go in. Hopefully, it's going to be done before Christmas. Then I'll go in. I'm going to rough in all the electrical, rough in the plumbing, then have the spray foam done, and then I can start closing up the inside. So that's the plan. I'm so excited. It's
Yay!
gonna
We're
be so
excited
fun.
for you.
I know.
Thank you.
We didn't
Yeah.
think I don't think we thought it was gonna happen, so
I didn't think it was ever gonna happen. It's crazy. but and yet here we are. So
Yay!
we got that going on.
Excellent.
Yeah. So exciting stuff.
Great. Let's move on to news and notes time. We love our GM tow pigs, and we know we're not alone. But Owen Bellwood at Jalopnik lets us know that GM just issued a recall of nearly 462,000 diesel engine SUVs and pickups across the United States over a faulty transmission control valve that may fail and cause the rear wheels to lock up. GM says the drivers may experience harsh shifting ahead of any of the wheel problems but in the vehicles that may be affected. A transmission control valve in some of these vehicles may be susceptible to excess wear over time, resulting in a gradual loss of pressure within the valve that can cause harsh shifting. In rare cases, the rear wheel may experience a momentary lockup. According to the documents of the posted by the NHTSA, the recall includes 2020 to 2022 Chevy Silverados, GMC Sierras 1500, 2500, and 3500. The 2020 to 2022, there's nothing listed there. 21 Cadillac Escalade, Chevy Tahoe, Suburban, as well as the GMC Yukon and Yukon XL. Recall notices are scheduled to go out early December, and impacted owners will be asked to return their cars to a GM dealer. Transmission control module and software will be installed for free. But if you think your car might be affected by a recall, not just your GM truck, you can download the NHTSA app and simply put in your VIN. And there's a research tool. That's fun. I didn't know about that. All of the links are in our notes.
Previous Lemons judge and lovable nerd Jason Torchinsky has a story that you might need to know over at the Autopian. The California Department of Insurance recently arrested 4 suspects on the suspicion of insurance fraud. From department, quote, the suspects claimed on January 28th, 2024 in Lake Arrowhead, a bear entered their 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost and caused interior damage to the vehicle. All right. That's interesting. They provided video footage to their insurance company, which showed the alleged bear in the vehicle. Well, that sounds great. Their insurance company suspected fraud, and the investigation began. Insurance detectives submitted the video footage to a California Department of Fish and Wildlife biologist who concluded it was clearly a human in a bear suit. Allegedly, the suspect donned a bear costume and attacked the car with what appeared to be handheld barbecue meat shredders.
Shut the front door.
I heard about this story. This is great. And it's even better here. The same group had run this bear attack scam in the past on a 2015 Mercedes G63 and a 2022 Mercedes E350, in which case they were awarded $140,000 from the insurance companies. So yes, we have the article and the video of the bear trashing the car.
Why are they? This is a lot of work. I mean, it's hilarious, by the way, but a lot of work for you to destroy a car like a Rolls-Royce Ghost, and then you're gonna what? Why?
Yep.
Why would you put to a 6.3? You did that to a G63.
Yep.
You don't deserve that car.
Well, then they can go steal another one and take the interior out of the other one and put it in theirs, and yay!
Oh,
criminals are not
goodness.
always smart.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Get a job. Get a life. Do something else.
Well,
Stay away from the narcotics.
You know what? We got away with this bear thing. Maybe we shouldn't do it 3 more times. You know, they might start getting suspicious.
You did it once. That should be plenty.
Mix it up and
attacking luxury cars. Right.
Throw a deer in there or something. Mix it up a little bit.
Or like maybe a black bear this time, like a different kind of bear. Like go get a different costume.
That's
amazing.
That is amazing. Well, luckily we have more critter news. It's winter and it is not uncommon for our little furry friends to climb into your engine for warmth. But Ronald Glon at the Drive wanted to make sure Mental couldn't sleep tonight, and I'm happy to share that this story is a good one. On November 13th, the Silverado HD owner, Aaron Ricks, made a short 10-mile drive from Mesa, Arizona to Scottsdale. When he arrived at his destination, he spotted something hanging under his truck. wonder what that is. I thought it was a grocery bag or some sort of plastic, or maybe I ran something over. So I walked back over to the truck to see what it was. And boy, was I shocked to see this big old snake looking down and looking right back at me. Big ol' is accurate. As it turned out, it was roughly a 6-foot boa constrictor. As the author said, oh, I got bounced out of my notes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, new software.
Man, that thing is
As-
so
It's
much.
so big. As the author points out, the
Yes.
big snake's natural habitat stretches from northern Mexico to Argentina, and he contacted the Scottsdale Fire Department, who, while initially skeptical, removed the snake unharmed. It was then boxed up, that's a big box, and turned over to the Arizona Herpetological Society for safe handling and care, as it was most likely a missing pet. On the Scottsdale Fire Department Facebook page, one great comment is, I would throw the whole truck away.
Honey,
You're not
why are you
wrong.
calling me to come pick you up? Had to get rid of the truck. Why? Snake. Oh,
Snake.
yeah, no problem. Yep, nope. I'm on my way. Just leave it. Burn it.
Unreal.
Wow.
That is crazy.
pretty
Crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Now, we're going to move on to racingjunk.com. You know that we are road racers here, but we have some listeners who drag race. And are you tired of breaking your car before noon on Saturday? Would you like to live your life a quarter mile at a time? Maybe you just need a new winter project. And when we're looking to find new ways to frustrate and injure ourselves, naturally, we go to racingjunk.com. And there on racingjunk.com is this absolute beautiful. I'm trying to talk and click buttons at the same time. 1985 Mustang GT roller. It is in Huntington Beach, California. It's got a 4130 cage. It is ready for a big block Ford Tremec TKX transmission, Lakewood bell housing. It's ready for a junkyard 5-liter or a Coyote 5-liter from the seller. Low miles, day 2 hot rod drag car from Arizona. Has nice TIG welded 4130 cage through the floor subframe connectors, weld wheels, and Mickey Thompson tires all around, stock front end suspension, small fiberglass cowl hood, small flares at all 4 corners, not cut up, rear floors, stock tank included, room for a Boss 29, a Hemi, Super Cobra jet, or any big block. It is a clean, rust-free body, and he's even willing to deliver it locally in SoCal. Now, he adds, it is, of course, a project and will need wiring and brake work. Includes Strange, which is a brand, manual brake kit with master cylinder new in box. And here's the thing. You can trust this guy. Why? Because he got the good package. Car doesn't have any engine, but the ad has 15 pictures detailing this cage and truly rust-free body. The price for this blank canvas, a mere $4,200. And Racing Junk, that's where you want to go, man. And if I was looking for a drag car, I got to tell you, this thing's got it figured out. That's a cool project.
Yeah, the welds in that cage look good.
Yeah, the car is
Absolutely.
clean. Really
Yeah.
clean.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool.
Great. Upcoming races. I assume all of these are. What is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. When I pasted that, I
Probably
forgot.
Sonoma, right?
No,
it's
actually.
not. Okay. No, because Sonoma's below. Okay. I am talking about Lucky Dog Park Ferme 1,000 miles of Thunder
Hill.
Hill.
Of the hill.
I
The,
know. I was-
the Underhill.
the
Yeah.
Underhill. Okay,
The
great.
Underhill.
There's 94 cars. That's amazing.
It's a good
42.
turnout.
Yeah, 42 of them are BMWs though.
Ugh.
Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, 27 Miatas, 4 Hondas, 3 Porsches, and buried in the morass of Mustangs, a Lotus, a Corvette, a Model TGT. It's probably the TGT. A
The
single
Model
shi-
TGT. Yeah.
the Model TGT. A single shining beacon of silliness car, 97 Hello Kitty, and an 88 Cabrio.
I
And this
haven't
race
seen
goes.
I haven't seen the Model T GT out on a racetrack in years. This
A
is
long
run-
time.
it's run
coming
lucky.
out.
It's
Has
run
it?
lucky, dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still good they're getting it back out there. This race goes until the first car reaches 1,000 miles for the weekend and is done as a parc fermé, which means the cars are parked as they come off the track, secured, and no work or anything until the next day. All right.
Wow. And that one, so they stop at night? It's not
They do.
24
The
hours.
track goes cold at
Okay,
night.
so you
Yeah.
just race for a while until
And
cool.
they're running the 5-mile course, so
Oh,
do the math on that one. But
okay.
So good. And the weather's going to be terrible there. And it's also going to be terrible at Sonoma with lemons, with what Eric Rude proclaimed as the greatest judging crew of the year.
I don't
Wow.
think Eric said
Wow.
that.
I'm pretty sure he said, maybe there's a typo in here. I don't know.
No,
But-
I said that. I don't know if Eric said it. I'm not saying it's not true because I believe it is true, but
I think it might be.
I don't want to put that
and there-
evil on Eric.
There are 132 cars, only 19 BMWs.
Damn.
That's
That's
a good race.
great.
In
Amazing.
NorCal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the rest of them are all at Lucky Dog. So
That's fair.
That's
That's
true.
fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's not squabble over details, Abbott. Then 14 Miatas. There's 4 Hondas, 3 Porsches, and from our buddy Eric Rude, who will be in attendance, quote unquote, a bunch of cars we can make into subclasses. Furry cars like the Mirage, Buttercup, and Marge the Cutlass. PT Cruisers, 3 of them. And 2 new to Lemons Fieros, including one with a Cadillac HT swap. The IOE field is also super deep. So well done. Thank you, Lucky Dog, for taking all of the boring ass cars at Thunder Hill so we can enjoy some good racing at Sonoma.
excellent.
Awesome. Okay, it's listener feedback time. Mental's pro Miata IG post garnered support from the Drop Top Mafia. Evan Douglas said, couldn't agree more with this.
College fundraising said exactly.
And then on our What You Working On post, Low Racing asked about the years of my Formula Vs and then messaged me with pictures of his father's 66 Formula V that he has in autocrosses, which is just really cool.
Sing.
Excellent.
You know who else is really cool?
Good
I'm not going to touch
transition.
that. That's perfect.
Hi, parents who are in the car coming home from a beach day on a November Monday in Jersey.
Wow. Nice.
It was
It's probably
in the
warmer
mid-60s
than
here.
we're going to be this weekend at Sonoma.
Pretty much. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. All right. It's me, topic time.
All right. Well, we are at Sonoma Raceway, formerly known as Sears Point, and sometimes Infineon and many other names along the way, but we're going to stay with Sonoma Raceway for now. It is located in wine country, just 30 miles north of the San Francisco Bay Area. The nearby gas station is in Nevada, which is about 15 minutes away, and regular gas is about 70 cents right
Sorry,
now.
470. Lots of typos.
70 cents.
70 cents in gasoline in California.
Buy all of it.
Yeah, buy all of it.
It's about, you know, it's about
on sale.
70 cents higher than every other state in the country.
Yeah,
How about
that's
that?
more like it. It's $9.70 actually.
Yeah. Premium is $5.10 and diesel is $5. The nearest Walmart is about 30 minutes away in Napa, and the full gamut of flaps are between 15 and 20 minutes away in either Vallejo or Novato. This road course is a 12-turn, 2.39-mile circuit with an average speed of 77 miles an hour and an average lap time of 151.4, based in a region known for its high-quality wineries and its mild weather year-round, just not this
Mild
time of year.
weather. Yeah, mild weather.
Pretty
Have to
much.
Be mild, but didn't say dry.
Sure.
Moldy is more like it.
I feel like while we're talking about the weather, if you're going, once the sun goes behind that mountain, it gets darn cold. Well, maybe not
And-
now. I don't
And
know.
the wind can pick up too, so
Yeah.
prepare yourself for that.
Oh, I hope the sheep are out. Anyway, spectators. Let's talk about that. All access, all weekend spectator pass, $30. Click here. Okay, I can't do that. Spectator pass covers race day and pre-race test and inspection day. Spectators have full paddock access and do not have hot pit access. Spectators are not allowed to touch a race car. Anyone wrenching, fueling needs to register as a team or crew member. What was that?
He's not touching.
It's me not touching.
He's
I'm
not
not
touching
touching.
me.
I'm not touching the great guy.
Got it. Okay, I thought there was bugs on your screen or something. Okay. Thursday might be burn it. Thursday the 21st, 6 p.m. gates will open, but you have to wait up the hill in a staging lot until the previous paying folks leave, usually around 2 p.m. Gates close at 12. On Friday,
10.
gates open
10.
I'm sorry.
Gates close at 10.
I apologize.
I can tell you everyone this addendum to that Thursday. Hooked on Driving is there. They will not be out of there until 5:30. So hunker down.
Or honestly, just park the rig someplace in Nevada or Napa or even just
Go find
go
some
find
wine.
a good restaurant. Yeah, there's
Wine.
any
Mhm.
there's a museum down the street just because that you have to go way up in the lot and it's just not worth it.
Okay, gates close at 10. I'm sorry about that. Friday, gates open at 7 a.m. 12 to 4 is optional. Friday test day hosted by Sonoma. Do you know how to sign up for that?
We'll talk about it here in a minute.
Fine. 11 to 5 tech, BS, and gear. Teams assigned specific tech times. Check your schedule. They will mock you if you do not. That's your time. No changes. You'll be emailed a link to the tech time assignments in a few days before the event.
I get at least 3 cars a weekend. Hey, what time am I supposed to do tech? I don't know. What time were you told in your email? Yep. That's always followed with the
Yep.
I'm going to see you a lot this weekend, aren't I?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
All right, Saturday gates open at 7, and there is a 9 a.m. mandatory drivers meeting. 9:30 is grid. Race session is 10 to 4:30. 7 p.m. the gates close again. Sunday 7 a.m. gates. Race from 9 to 4:30. 5 o'clock awards. Now the facilities at Sonoma are quite spread out. There's a lot of space there. Parking is first come, first serve unless reserved parking is specifically mentioned by Lemons or offered by the track. The garages are reserved, and the spots in front of the garage belong to the garage. And this weekend, those are going to be quite valuable being in the garage.
Mhm.
It's expensive to get a garage at the Sonoma race, but I think this is one of those weekends that's going to be totally worth it for those people who have one. Every team entry gets their 20 by 40 space in the main paddock. Doesn't fit there. Go to the overflow. Test day run by the track for Lemons cars only. It's $350 a car. No passengers. You need a Lemons license. If you're 16 or 17-year-old, you have to have a minor's waiver, as well as a letter from the same parent stating that their permission for their child that covers the whole year, basically.
Welcome.
And
to
a
California.
link to how to sign up for that test day is in the show notes.
Great.
It's a proper Lemons test day. It's $350. And it's for the car. So, and you just go. That's a good way to run it.
Good.
So you've heard us hint about it, but let's talk about the weather because it is not going to be nice. As we said, Sonoma is gonna Sonoma. So here is the forecast we are looking at. On Friday, the low is going to be about 45 degrees, the high of 61. Periods of rain, high of 61, windy 5 to 10, chance of rain 80%, almost a half inch. On Saturday, cloudy with occasional rain showers, a low of 44. Winds light and variable. It is going to also have a chance of 50% chance of rain. And on Sunday, considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers, high of 59, winds 5 to 10, chance of rain 50%. So
So much rain.
much rain.
It doesn't sound like it's going to give you a complete washout. It's just going to be there's like not like one of those weekends that just never stops raining for 3 days.
Oh,
We've
that
had
was
those.
HPR.
hmm Very much like HUR.
Yeah.
What you do have to be aware of, and because it is Bay Area, and this has happened before, is with the fog. We actually had to delay the race a few years ago because the fog rolled in. And it was funny because we had the cars gridded and then the fog rolled in and the tower or the flag stations couldn't see each other and they called hold. And we ended up sitting around for about 2 hours just waiting for the fog to go away. And what turned out to be the coolest, most unusual cars and coffee because we had them all gridded and we let everybody just come and hang out and drivers warmed up and had coffee until it was time to clear the grid and off we went.
Yeah, that can happen there for sure.
Yep. Now they are running, Lemons is going to be running the WTCC setup. And that is a 2.52 mile course with 12 turns. For all of us,
And
well,
Tim's going to talk us
Tim's going to
through
do
this
us.
all.
I forgot you two had actually driven that track. As soon as Chrissy started talking about the sheep, I'm like, why did I forget that? I've been to the track
Well,
a
couple
dozen times. Never driven it.
It's actually where I met Chris and Chrissy many, many moons ago when they were running Fish's Pinto.
It was such a random, and then all of a sudden you came back around. We're like, guy, remember that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Fish's Pinto. That was an adventure.
That was fun. The Pinto Cup.
Mm.
Well, if I remember, the weather wasn't bad that race where you guys were there. But if you haven't run this track in the wet, it is different. I'm going to run you through the track as I know it. I've done a ton of laps on this place, and it is a very, very good racetrack. Tons of elevation change. The walls are very close in some spots. It can be very, very expensive if you make a mistake in this track. So be careful, especially if it's wet. But we'll start out as if you're coming out of turn 12 down the main straight. So you're going to come across start finish. And as you come across start finish, it can get wide. You can see people go 3 wide at that spot. But it does pinch in a little bit as you're approaching turn 1. So if you are 3 wide as you cross start finish, sort that stuff out and get down to 2 wide, or single file as you go into turn 1. Your 2 different types of cars, your momentum cars and your high horsepower cars, will be a little different as they approach. You can kind of get away with a lift, and kind of just float your way up the hill in a momentum car. If you are in a high horsepower car, you will need a little bit of brake as you get it set up into turn 1. As you're coming in, you want to kind of clip that inner wall on the left-hand side, let the car drift out a little bit. And then you'll be looking up the hill. You'll see the walkway that goes across the walking bridge, and you want to be about a third of the way over from the left. If you're a little bit further left than that, there is a bump in the pavement that may have been fixed on the repave. I haven't driven over that spot since the repave, but there might be all new bumps.
It may have been fixed and broken again since the repave.
Yeah, and fallen off since the repave. But you'll be coasting up that hill, and it is important that you get all the way over to the left as you're halfway up the hill, just past the crosswalk, and stay left as far and as long as you can to get ready for turn 2. If you are not a high horsepower car, it might be a little drag a brake. It might be a coast. As you get set up for 2, faster cars will definitely need to get your braking done in a straight line. And it is a late turn in as you crest 2. 2 is a blind apex right-hander. You'll be able to see the apex, and it's a big wide curb at the apex. You want to try to run over the part of the curb that's on the opposite side of the hill. If it's wet, don't touch the paint on this track. It is slippery. In addition to that, turn 2, has got a great feature that when it rains, you get a nice run of water and clay that goes right across the track towards the turn two apex. So just throw another challenge at you. So be wary of that. And it is greasy. Go ahead, Chris.
When we were there doing the Pinto Cup, it did rain overnight, so we started Sunday morning in the wet, and I was up there in that Pinto coming up over two, and we're just watching cars like slow motion spinning out like everywhere. It
Yeah.
was amazing how that was because it is slick up there with all that stuff on the track. And yeah, I was impressed by how steep that hill is too. Like the having only seen it on television or pictures and whatnot, but actually once you actually are going up that hill, it's a lot of hill.
It is a lot of hill, a lot, like many, many feet and stories of hill.
Yeah.
So to Chris's point, that clay is I mean, it's probably slipperier than like bearing grease. It is just nasty stuff. And
It was amazing.
people will spin on there because it's the car gets super light as you go over the crest. It starts to fall away off camber, and it's a blind exit. You can't see where the end of the track is until you're pointed in that direction, and hopefully it is the right direction, because it's really hard to save it if you shallow out that apex and are exiting steep. Like, you just figure it out, and if you're going to go off, don't try to save it. It'll get real nasty quick. So a lot of times people will try to save it, and they'll dart back across from the left to the right and spin off down into the infield on the right hand side. So nasty stuff. So if you have survived two, then you will make your way towards 3 and 3A. And I love these two turns. It's a really cool, fast uphill, still going uphill. You want to come out of 2, you want to set up all the way to the right. So as you're getting ready to go into 3, you're going to do just a little bit of drag of the brake to get a little bit of weight on the nose. And it is a late entry into 3, and you're going to try to stay left on that left-hander and then clip that 3A apex. And that's 3A tends to be kind of a mid apex, but it's also a blind exit. So as you're cresting 3A, the track will now start to fall down and away from you. I like to look past the top of the crest of the pavement, and you can see the grandstands there, and there are some light poles. And the second to last light pole, which you'll see way before you ever see the racetrack, is a really good point of reference as you're coming over 3A. So take a peek for that. Try to get the car pointed in that direction. The car will get light as it crests. You will be full throttle at this point, and going down the hill towards 4. Super fun little stretch. So now 4, you're coming down the hill. People will be dive bombing you on the inside. The NASCAR straight continues down a little further, but this is it's a more than 90-degree turn. The inside apex curb on the right does have some pitch to it, almost like a ramp, not like a bump, but a ramp. So you can clip a little bit of it, but don't take too big of a bite, because it will kick you out left. But look out in your mirrors for the guy dive bombing you on the inside. Get your braking done early. It's not a turn that I think is a good trail brake turn, because the car is going downhill. It feels a little off camber, and the back end will definitely want to move around a little bit on you if you do that. So get your braking done, let the car settle back in, turn into that apex, and a nice clean application of throttle on your way out to get a good run, because you are going to be wide open throttle for the next couple of turns. So 4, as you come out, there are some rumbles on the left. You can use those. Just once again, be very careful on the paint if there's any moisture on the track. As you come through 4 down the hill, 5 will be on your right. They have a new curb that they added a little over a year ago for NASCAR when NASCAR started running the carousel, and it is a doozy. Do not hit that curb. It will launch you off the track. So as you come into 5, you're going to want to give that curb a little bit of respect, but you will be wide open throttle all the way from the exit of 4 through 5, and then getting your way back uphill again towards turn 6. Turn 6 is the carousel. As you come around the hill on 5, you will notice on your right, on the top of the hill, there is a flag stand. Really important you take a look at that flag stand before you come through there, because
I've seen some people get real close calls there,
Yeah.
not paying attention to that one.
Yeah, it can get messy quick. As a matter of fact, I'll even go back one. Make sure you take a peek at the flag stand on the inside of 4 before you come down to 5, because you sometimes don't have enough time to react, because you are just bringing it by the time you see that flag stand going into turn 6. And if there's a lot of cars in that area, which there will be, there's not a lot of wiggle room to get yourself bailed out. So keep an eye on 3, that flag stand, and give yourself a little bit more time. So if you're in a fast car, as you go around to the right and apex 5, you'll let the car drift out left as you're going up the hill. You're looking at that flag stand. You're going to need to get on those brakes as the car is compressing into that uphill. Really important to get that braking done at that point, because once you go over the top of that hill, the car's going to get light, and you're going to need it to settle back down before you can get on the brake. I found in a car that is more of a momentum car, you can lift and just coast over the top of that and then trail brake your way around the carousel. I've in the 2 types of cars, I've really enjoyed doing a trail brake on the outside of the carousel. With a faster car, I think, or higher horsepower car, I think getting on that brake a little early and hugging that inside is a good way to go. But you can, if you've got a car with some grip, that's a good momentum car, a Miata type thing, you can really fly around the outside of the carousel. Now this is just an iconic spot on this racetrack, and it's also one of those corners that when you exit, if you don't treat the gas pedal, the accelerator, with a little bit of respect, you can get yourself into a whole lot of trouble. So most of the cars that I've seen get in trouble on this get on the gas too soon as they're coming out of the carousel, and then it's tank slapper backwards into the inside of the turn on the left of the carousel. There's a big wall there. There's a lot of paint on it. And so be super careful as you start to get back on that throttle. You're heading up the drag strip as you come out of the carousel, and it's super, super wide down in that spot. Everybody gets a little spicy and they try to get their foot in it. And especially if it's wet, just let that wheel unwind all the way, and just a nice easy squeeze on that pedal. There are
And that can
3
get slick too in the wet where all the rubber is there from on the drag strip.
Absolutely. The wet line on this track is really interesting. It's like you're darting back and forth across the track to avoid rubber. They do.
It'll be different actually this year with the repave. That'll change it again. No one knows.
It should. It should. Absolutely. The track itself isn't much different. I know a lot of times when tracks repave stuff, they take an opportunity to kind of massage and tweak things a little bit. They haven't done really a whole lot with the track itself. I think that curb on 5 is the biggest change that I noticed. Now the exit as you're going up the drag strip, great place to pass people. If you're a slow car, you're gonna get past. You can go 3 wide, you can go 4 wide as you're going up that hill. Look at that flag stand on the left. They will let you know what's going on. I like to, as I'm coming out of the carousel, if you look up the hill to your right, there's a little grass mound there. There is another flag stand for turn 8. Take a quick glance at that. Give yourself a little bit of notice. You can certainly save yourself a heartache if you're not paying attention, because that one gets a little hard to see, because as you're coming down, which we'll talk about in a second, mentally you're pretty busy. So if you can take a peek at that in advance while you've got a little bit of mental free time, it's a good thing. So heading up the hill, up the drag strip towards 7, you can take this on the inside, you can take this out on the left. Really depends on where you want to be and where you are in traffic. I think the ideal line is hugging the left side of the track. Watch that flag stand. And there's 2 ways to go around this complex 7 and 7A. It's basically, it's 2 apexes, but you can just with one input use a wider turn and kind of one turn hit both apexes, or you can try to sharpen it off and make it 2 turns. It really depends on the traffic and what your car can do. If you've got a car that's a little bit more grippy, I think like a momentum car, that you're harder to get back on the gas and get back up to speed. I found that taking that a little bit on the left side, softening up that turn into 7, the first one, not super sharp, and trying to maintain your speed as you exit out is a good way to keep your momentum going. There is a lot of exit runoff as you come out of the second part of 7A. So you can make it one big sweeper, or you can dive in tight, clip the inside of 7, stay hard right, clip the inside of 7A, and track your way out. And like I said, it really depends on traffic and who you've got around you. But experiment with it. They're both fun. I'm not sure one way is way faster than the other, but there's certainly more than one way around there. It's also a ton of runoff in that spot. So it's a good bailout if you've got something going on, you want to try to late break somebody. You can definitely go deep in there if you're out on the left and be totally fine. So you can see with the picture Mental's got, we're looking at 7A coming back down the racetrack into turn 8 and the S's. Great spot on the racetrack right here. The 8 and 8A on this racetrack, there's a lot of speed you can carry through here. And we do the bus stop, so we'll stay hard left and go down the hill into the bus stop, as opposed to staying inside on the right. So if you've run this on HPDE, it's definitely a little bit different. And the way that you enter this is going to be a little different. So you exit out of 7, you're going to stay to your left, and you're trying to straight line this as much as you can and use the curbs. You can even use the curbs in the wet on these, on the first 2 corners, not the left-hander. Don't touch the paint on the left-hander if it is wet out. But if it's a little damp, you can bump the curbs a little bit because you're going in a straight line. Just be careful with the go fast pedal. So you're going to go by, you're going to run those curbs over. On the left, you're going to cheat a little left, then you're going to bump a little right. And on that spot right there, as you're trying to catch that second apex on the right, you'd be looking straight at the flag stand. You want to stay right for quite a long time. And the apex on the left, which is our sharper turn, you will need to get a little bit of brake in there. If you're going in a high horsepower car, you'll have to do a moderate amount of braking. Get that done early. Let the car settle in, turn the wheel in, and try to late apex that turn. If you turn in too early, and you are not going to make that turn, straighten the wheel out, swallow your pride, and drive through the grass, because if you try to save it, you will end up in the tire wall every single time. Like there is no saving that. Once you get that sideways in that turn, you're bringing a ton of speed in, and it's one of those spots where a lot of cars will wad themselves up in that spot. So there's a ton of room to the right. The whole track goes to the right. So if you screw it up, just get yourself dirty, stay to the right, stay safe. Don't try to be a hero. So if you've done it right, you'll feel like, wow, the corner just comes to you. You'll get around that left-hander. You're going to stay left. You're going to see that the final apex on your right-hand side to get you down the hill. And you want to just a little bit of steering input, let the car get down over that little crest, and then squeeze that throttle on, and you'll be going full speed down towards the bus stop. So do you guys have anything to add to that? There's a lot going on in that stretch of turns right there.
So much is going to be traffic dependent too. Like if you got a clear moment, you can really, straighten that out all pretty well. But so much of it is just which lane you in, who's the person who doesn't know what they're doing, when you're going to get stuck behind Buttercup, like things like that.
Yes.
Makes it tough.
100%. And if don't try to go too wide through the S's. Like it's faster if you just slow down and get behind the person and go, because it's really that they're pretty substantial turns. If you need to go side by side, just back out, get behind the car. It's downhill. You guys will get all your speed back. It's way faster to just give it up and go.
Think to yourself, how much do I trust this person next to me going through this? Do they know what they're doing? Are they that good? And then throw in the additional, and it's raining. So
yeah,
sure, I'm good enough to go too wide into this corner. Yeah, but is that other car? Because you're both going to come see us. Or, well, one of you might go on a trailer. So yeah, just give it up, swallow it. Yeah. You'll be fine. There's a lot of track. You can pass them in a second.
Yeah, one way or another, we'll see you either turning in your transponder or coming to the penalty box. So it's
exactly.
Neither one's going to be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So coming down down into the bus stop, it is I forgot to say, just like on 2, if it's raining hard, there will be a stream that runs across the track on 8 as well. So look for the river that runs through it, and heed your warning. It's generally nothing more than a splash because you don't have a lot of steering input when you run through that. But if there's mud, just be cognizant of the fact that you could have that stuff on your tires as you're trying to make a high-speed turn. So it's exciting. So coming down into the bus stop, there are brake markers on the left. You're going to want to get set up on the left. You can get a pass done on the inside on the right if you can outbrake somebody. But similar to Formula One, just make sure if you're going to do it that you get way past their front axle, because they will turn into you otherwise, because they're not gonna see it coming. It gets super tight in the bus stop. It's a quick hard right to a hard left. All of the mud there will be tracked all over the place, so it is going to be super slippery all through that entire section. If you're coming down there and you can't stop, you have an issue, somebody cuts you off, there is a bailout. You can go straight and not have to worry about going through all that. That's kind of where the tow trucks will drag your broken car when you break down at some point this weekend. And it's fine to bail out in that way. If you're not going to make the turn, whether let's say you're on the outside and somebody tries to hot shoe you on the inside and they're not going to slow down in time, don't try to make the turn. Just go through that little bus stop area, because if you go just a little bit wide, and you go over those giant rumble strips, you will come out all squirrely and be headed right towards the wall on the other side of the track. So there will be paint on that wall. Don't add any more paint to that wall this weekend, please.
And
So
yes, if you go through that and you deviate from the course, you're going to come talk to me, Corey, Tim, Eric, Jeff, and you're going to say, well, they told me if I got into trouble to cut through this. And the answer is going to be good answer, because now you didn't bend any metal, but it's still a penalty.
Yeah.
Now
100%.
the advantage is, if it's your first one, you go, and you own it, you go out. Second one, we'll do something silly. Third one, you're choosing from the turkey of doom, but you're still driving the car on the trailer. So.
Turkey of doom.
Yeah. Yes, there's more. there's more to that story.
Okay.
But be safe going through that area. It's a really big pinch point. It is a super slow turn. If you are Randy Popst and you want to just send it through all of those curbs because it's not your car and you don't care, you can gain a little bit of speed. But I don't recommend that. I've watched a video of him in the satellite going like 60 miles an hour, just running everything over in a straight line. And I was like, ooh, that's aggressive. I am not going to try that. So,
and as good as Randy is also not immune to the occasional visit to the penalty box, and he knows it.
Yeah,
like Randy.
So I saw Randy twice last Sonoma race, actually.
Yeah.
2 different cars.
Yeah, it's very pleasant. Enjoy talking to him, but
Yeah,
understand you're not as good as he is, and he's coming in. So slow down.
yeah, yep. So it's a quick right, a quick left. You'll track out towards that grassy spot. You've only got about 3 feet of grass between the track and the concrete. So be careful there, please.
And it tapers, it pinches. You've got 3 feet at the widest.
It does. It does. It pinches in right there. Now you're going to be coming into turn 10. There is a flag stand in the wall at turn 10. We call it the spider's nest. You will see one poor little human in there getting rained on all weekend, trying to wave a flag, telling you that some other person has ran out of talent and crashed into the mud and dragged stuff all over the place. So as soon as you come out of 9 and you look to the left, look at the wall, you will see the hole in the wall. Easy. It's really easy to see if you're looking for it. As you come through 10, it's a pretty stock right-hander. I think it's about a 45, 50 degree turn. You're going to be on the throttle, clip the apex, track out to the left. And at this point, you're going to be going down the rear straight towards turn 11. But on the left is where the track out is. So if you're out there, just be cautious. Somebody might be exiting. Once again, a plea to anybody that is planning on exiting the track, stay left way before you get there. Put your fist out the window, let everybody know. And you will be hugging that wall the whole way down into the hot pit area. So coming down, once you get out of 10, you're going to be full throttle. There is a tire wall turning into a concrete wall that divides you and the track exit. Somewhere between the just prior to that tire wall and just after where that tire wall begins is going to be your braking zone. So find where your spot is, get your brake markers. There's a couple of spots on the track that you can use, patch like colors that you can use as a braking point. But please make sure that you sneak up on that, because if you miss your braking point and you don't make that turn, you will be in a mountain of tires and sadness. So don't crash into the wall of sadness.
And you will be in a mountain of tires and sadness in full view of everyone, because once you're out of
Mhm.
10, everyone in the NASCAR garages can see you. And that's where they're going to be watching. That includes the judging staff.
And the stadium seating. You can
And
see that
stadium
turn
seating.
from the
That's
stadium
right.
seating.
Yeah.
So all of the humans will be watching you and pointing and laughing once we know
Well,
you're okay.
first they'll say, yeah, is he okay? Then,
Yeah.
yes.
So it's a good time to give your brakes a quick tap before you get to that brake zone and make sure they're working.
Better be sure.
Yep, good to be sure. And set yourself in there. Nice and smooth. Easy pressure. It is a typical hairpin style turn. You want to try to clip that second part of that turn and get back on that throttle as soon as you can, because you have a long straightaway, well, straightish away coming up. So exit out on the left. There is a wall on the left, so you can't get too funky with it. Squeeze that throttle on, get on that gas, and start to head down towards start finish. So as you're coming out of 11, turn 12 is just a little kink to the left. There's a guy with flags right at that corner right there. Keep an eye on him, and that will get you set up into the main straight. So you're going to want to just get close to the wall on 12 on the inside left and let the car drift out to the right as you cross start finish, and then head back into 1. And that will get you on the right track. Always look for traffic. There's a lot of different speed cars going around that spot.
Just addendum to that. If you're not sure where the track exit is, you need to know it before you get onto the track. We actually had a car run out of gas because they couldn't find where to get into the pits. I didn't know, because it's before turn 11 and it's 2 turns before you come back onto the track. Now, here's the other thing about this too, about giving up all those places where Tim told you to give up some speed. You exit the track between 10 and 11A. Then you have to drive all the way around the outside of 11 on pit road. And that is a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. Once you get to the pit road, then you pull into the paddock at the far end of the garages. And now it's 10 miles an hour all the way to the end of the garages where penalty is. And you will pass by every single garage, and every person in those garages knows exactly, precisely what 10 miles an hour looks like. And if you're not doing 10 miles an hour, we're going to know about it before you get to penalty. So now you're double whammy. So anytime you have to leave track where you're not planning on doing it for fueling or to swap drivers, you have to come off for a penalty. You're going to give up probably one of the largest amounts of time as any track by coming off and going onto penalty, just by the sheer amount of real estate you have to cover and the speed you have to cover it. And that's before you even talk to us. So just give up what you got to give up and keep the car on the track on there.
There's also a point about that. So when you're exiting the track, if you're exiting for penalty, you're going to obviously stay left against the wall. You're going to go all the way around the outside of turn 11, and you're going to continue straight to stay towards the left, and you will head towards where the Sunoco gas station is. There will be, there'll be a human right there that will let you through back out into the paddock area. And that's where you will make a hard right after the gas pumps and then follow the garages down. So the garages will be on your right, and you will take those all the way down to penalty. Just after penalty is where track in is at. If you are doing a pit stop, as you stay hard left between 10 and 11, go all the way around the outside of turn 11. You'll see the gas pumps ahead of you. You will turn right before the gas pumps and head down into the hot pit area where fueling will be. So fueling will be on the garages will be on your left. If you are in penalty, the garages will be on your right. And you'll head around the corner, and there will be a staff member there checking wristbands and all of the things, doing dick check to make sure you're good to go before they send you back out on track. So that area for fueling is in front of the garages. In the morning, they will stage you in front of the grandstands, but for fueling, that will all be done in front of the garages.
Where we can watch you fuel your car incorrectly and also black flag you.
Yeah.
Or more often than not, yell at you from like the third floor. Put your visor down. Yeah.
What are you,
No, not
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Totally.
One of my favorite things or great memories of this track was standing in the garages and when Nyan Cat used to go by, the Doppler effect of Nyan Cat past the garages was amazing. You could hear it coming, you could hear it going. Yep.
Yeah. And then the chuckle of all the people.
Pretty much. And then you do it again and you're just like, you still keep laughing because it's still funny.
It is.
Yep.
So if it is wet, as a reminder, stay off the curbs. I don't know what they put in the paint there, but it's really slippery. And you need to avoid, in the past, it might be a little different with this service, but you need to avoid the high rubber marks. You'll have to dart a little bit across, in and out. Being offline in some of these turns is actually pretty grippy. If you're comfortable with that, experiment with a little bit at like 0.6. See where you can find some grip, but it's the track is always very, very busy, so it will rubber up. You've got an HPDE on Thursday that I know is full, so you're gonna have a lot of rubber down.
Friday's has run the new pavement, I want to say twice already. So that's also a lot of rubber. Chris, best piece of advice you ever give me for driving in the rain? You said it on the show. Say it again.
Which one?
Aim.
In general, though, the rain, you just need to find the grip. Go out.
Well, yeah,
looking
but
for
there's
the
a
grip.
visual reference you always use.
Now I'm on the spot. What is it?
Yeah.
You tell
me.
me.
Sorry. Aim for the dull. Aim for anything dull. If it's shiny, don't go near it.
Oh.
Yep. That's a good one too.
I don't know if they sound like his words, but okay. Give him cred.
I'll take it. Sounds good. Well, it's going to be quite a weekend.
Drive dull in the rain. I like it.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's a heck of a judging crew. We've got some really good penalties lined up. We expect to see most of you in the penalty box, if not all of you. So once would be enough. Twice will be fun. The third time's going to be a hoot. So,
Turkey of Doom.
Oh, the Turkey of Doom.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about this.
Yes.
Yes.
So good.
Also, the penalty box is where the potluck usually is, and so it's where everybody ends up on. Which we have to figure out how we're going to watch qualies and the race Friday and Saturday.
Oh no!
Yeah. Somebody has to bring a TV and a F1 subscription. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
That'd be a great bribe, right there.
That would be an outstanding bribe.
Yeah, bring a smart TV. I've got a YouTube TV login, so that's all we need.
Excellent.
I'll
have a good time, guys. I mean,
there's
no way
so much
you
fun.
can't really, especially because you guys aren't the ones that have to be out in a parking lot in 44-degree rain trying to fix your broken car. So you're gonna be having a good time.
It's gonna be totally fine. Totally fine. There's gonna be so much squeegeeing going on in the penalty box, though.
So much squeegeeing.
Yep.
All of the squeegee. All right.
Excellent. Well,
Tim,
what are we doing
thank
next
you.
week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thanks. What do we do next week?
Yeah,
we're gonna be hungover next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have a tip topic go on the spot. Nothing. All right.
No.
Well, poop.
Not this week.
Nope.
Well, you gave one earlier, Mental. Aim for the dull.
Aim for the dull. That's how you drive in the rain. Aim for the dull.
I've got to
That's your
adjust the
tip.
tip. I've got to
Okay.
adjust the tip.
That's
Great.
just the tip.
If you are driving to Sonoma Raceway and have to take Highway 37, be prepared for traffic.
Yeah.
Be prepared for a lot of traffic. So leave early, and it starts on the weekend. It starts really early. So if you're not staying on campus, just prepare yourself. Don't wait to the last minute. It can get really nasty on that road. So give yourself plenty of time.
Yes. Okay. I was trying to remember which one he's talking about. And the reason being is it is geographically kind of like restricted how wide it can possibly get because it drives over the water.
It is one lane in each direction.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes. I'll make
All right.
everyone's notes go away real quick here, but we'll do this. We'll show this. So those watching the video, there's the map. This is Highway 37 coming from here. You go up. Here is Sonoma Raceway. All right. And Sears Point. And it's right on the water. It is 2 lanes. In fact, usually this is how I end up coming in. And it also gets very, very foggy once the sun goes down. So yeah, just relax, man. You're not getting there quick.
yep, it is always a pinch point. So give yourself some time.
That's an excellent one.
The food at the track is actually pretty good. They've got Wine Country Motorsports has got a fun shop there if you want to poke around and check out some stuff. Great. It's a great compound. So a lot of cool things, but make sure you have tents and tie downs because it's going to be nasty. It'll be windy. It'll be wet. It'll be cold.
You're really selling it.
Bring something fun to the
Too
potluck.
late now.
Yeah. There's no going back. We're all in it together. We'll see you there, folks.
If you're already on your way there and you're like, crap, should I have even gone? Yes, you should have come to this race. You should come to this race because the cars are going to be amazing. And for the last month, the 2 Halloween meets gasoline heavyweights have been going at it on Facebook. Rusty Nuts is driving all the way out from Tennessee. They were in Oklahoma today. And you've also got the old car 420. They've got different names every time, but they are also running out there with that Transmera, and the trash has already started. So that is going to be an epic Halloween meets gasoline battle right there. Totally worth watching.
So good.
Fantastic.
I can't wait
Excellent.
for the furry car competition. It's going to be so smelly by Sunday.
It's gonna be.
Oh no!
I remember that Mitsubishi, and I don't want to touch it now from 2 years ago. And they don't park that thing inside; it just sits there.
So word of warning to anybody that is racing this weekend: if when one of those cars breaks down. And you have your third penalty, be prepared for the furry sexy car wash.
Oh no!
Oh, yes.
Bring your shampoo.
Oh
So-
God.
So much shampoo.
Oh God. All right. I got to go add that to the penalty list. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right, great.
Well, and Tim, as you mentioned, we're going to talk all about what happened this weekend next week. So send us your funny stories, your pictures, all of that good kind of stuff. We're going to do the Wine Country Hangover. And as we see them come about, we're going to be sharing as a preview to our annual holiday Gearhead gift giving guide any deals that we find. So if you find a great deal, send it to us as well. Any of our socials, all of that good stuff.
All good.
Awesome.
Good.
Yep.
All
Have
right.
a great week, everyone. Be safe. And if you're going to Sonoma, we'll see you soon.
Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, or even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up, unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels down.